Hello, it's Coy, and welcome to the Eclectic Cottage and Feliz Navidad. Welcome to Latin style Christmas in July. Okay, we're gonna work a little bit further on trying to break our pages in on our Latin style Christmas journal. We added a couple of pockets yesterday. But before I do that, I would like to say that I've, been shopping my stash today. I've been busy today. Been working to get organized when you're starting a new project, even though my color scheme's not changing that much, and a lot of the materials I'm going to be using are going to be similar in nature to the ones that I've used as we've been working on our Fiesta journal over the past couple weeks. There's still, some switching gear that needs to be done. I'm not ready for Santa Claus and Jingle Bells just yet. Before I delve too far, into things, into Christmas, I want to make sure that my journal has a Mexican or Latin feel first, and that's what I want to work on. But I also do want it to to show evidence that it is definitely Christmas. And I'm really pleased with the pages that I'm using from Abet's Feliz Navidad kit. They are so beautiful and add that Christmassy touch right from the beginning. I've also used several of her kits, several of the pages from her kits that are not necessarily like this. This is not from Christmas, not necessarily Christmas, but still give me the vibe that I'm looking for. And I will ask you, if you are working on Christmas in July, have you been busy shopping your own stash? Have you been picking out the pages that you're going to use and maybe some of the embellishments that you plan on using? I haven't dived too deeply into the Christmas stuff yet, but I have pulled out a few things and want to show them to you, only because I'm hoping that it might inspire you to go take a look at what you have and, start pulling things out. So this is a little basket of stuff I pulled out, and I'll show you what's in here. This is just, some ribbon, hope to use somewhere. I haven't seen this in a while, so let's take a look and see what's in here. This is some doilies and such that are in Christmassy colors that I might be able to use this on, like this wasn't perfect. I bought it anyway because I love the rose so much, and I loved, that it was red and green, and I think I paid $0.25 for it. But maybe I can use this on the cover. And I don't know what this is. Maybe a pot holder or a hot plate. This green one. There's a red one. Oh, that one's cute. It's a heart. And these, I had several of these. Somebody took an old tapestry, cut it into pieces, and crocheted around it. Or I guess that's crochet. They stitched around it, making it cute. And then there's this. So all of these, I haven't seen this in a while. So all of these things are possibilities. And I'm glad I pulled that out. Come Christmas time, like November, December, maybe even October, I probably will delve a little deeper into that, into the box of Christmas stuff. There's so much fun stuff in with and with the Christmas supplies. Okay, and I pulled this out. This was part of a little child's dress. Isn't that pretty? That's very Christmassy. May have even been someone's Christmas dress, who knows? But the dress was not in perfect condition, and I did not feel bad harvesting the pieces that I could use out of it. And I used this on the Fiesta journal to trim some of the pages with. And I knew I had more of it. I got it from a thrift store. I knew I had more of it, and luckily, it's one of the first things I ran across when I opened the box. So, it's old. I don't know how old this is. This is from, it doesn't say, but this was $2.99 for a roll. And it does not say how old it is. But I don't see anything like it when, when I'm out shopping for something new. And then this is just a piece of lace that was randomly in there. The bunny thing we looked at yesterday. This came in, these little yo-yos came in a Christmas swap. Oh, look at those tiny little envelopes. Oh, aren't they cute? Denise, did you send me these? I bet it was you, Denise. And these little yo-yos, these will go perfect on somewhere in the journal. Very Christmassy. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it was you, Denise. Thank you for these. I'm going to be using them. I did a Christmas swap with Denise last year, my friend Denise, and she's in Detroit. And glitter, I'm sure we're going to use glitter. I really don't know if I'm going to go with too much red glitter. I'm going to take a look for more of like the iridescent glitter or the, silver and gold glitter that I have somewhere. What else do we have? Some of these things we looked at yesterday. Okay, so, here's the other stuff. This also came from thrift store. It was 10 cents. And it's big glitter. This is like candy cane glitter. And there was one with Christmas trees. Did I not bring it in here? Now, there's also a little bottle of this with Christmas tree glitter in there. I think I probably got that in a swap from last year's Christmas as well. And then I found this. Look at that. Ooh, Christmas colors. Mexican looking. This, I'll either make a pocket with this or use it on the cover. Maybe the spine of the cover. Okay, so there's stuff. And I encourage you to, to start taking a look through stuff that you have, maybe things that, from last year. It's only been 6 months since we put Christmas away. So stuff shouldn't be too hard to find. And I just love that little bunny. She is definitely going to be a pocket. Okay, so that's some of the stuff that I pulled out today. And let me leave it right there. And then I've also been pulling and cutting. I mean, not too much fussy cutting, but I have done some cutting. I'd like to make her a pocket or a tuck, and I know we've looked at her before. I need to go ahead and use her, hopefully pretty soon, because I keep looking at her and she's still sitting on my desk. And this, I think the rooster, or some of us call it the rooster. I think it's a hen. This is a painting out of one of my art journals from several years ago. And I did work on these today. I'm just really happy with the way they came out. It's little prints from vintage holiday cards, Christmas cards that, that I used last year. And I just ran them through through Procreate and, you know, put some Spanish words on it. I think this says "'Tis the Season." And this young lady, I put her here, and I think this says happy Christmas or happy holiday. This one said December and Merry Christmas, and I changed it, you know, to Spanish in Procreate. I'm not a Procreate pro, so don't ask me any Procreate tips if you are having those ideas, because I am not. I just kind of get lucky, and I have to learn everything the hard way, and then 3 months later when I want to do it again, I have to learn it all over again. So it's kind of like necessity's the mother of invention for me when it comes to some of this technology stuff. Navidad this is Christmas in July 2023. I definitely want to put this somewhere in my journal as, you know, as a, you know, place to tuck in some journaling about my experience doing this in the month of July, in the middle of a heat wave. Luckily, we're not triple digits today. I think the high was 96 degrees here today instead of, you know, 100 or 101. So we thank goodness for those couple little degrees, but still, it's 96 degrees out. And then I took some of Abette's pages that are not from the Christmas kit and cut some pieces out. Maybe I can use as pockets or trims. And these are just papers, different things that I thought might be able to go into a Mexican journal. This again is I bet. And I definitely want to use some of Abette's, this is from Cigar Boxes. I am not an advocate of cigar smoking, and I don't even know what I would do if someone lit up a cigar in the same room as me, but you have to admit the art on their packaging is pretty amazing. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Abette has a very beautiful collection of cigar box tops in one of her kits. So these will make perfect pockets for a Mexican journal, and we can Christmas them up between now and December 25th. So I'm going to make pockets out of those. And this is I have one cigar box, and this is what my picture looks like, my cigar box looks like. And I just think it's so beautiful. Again, I am not a fan or an advocate of smoking at all, much less cigar smoking. But look at the packaging. Look how beautiful these boxes are. This one comes in very handy. I stuff all my, I know you guys have seen this before, but I stuff all of my, it's kind of running over, all of my little treasures, all of my fancy stuff that I've been using in the Fiesta journal. A lot of it is stored in here. My cup runneth over here. A lot of it came from thrift stores. A lot of it came from Anna in Portugal. And I treasure these little things so much. So I put them in this little box that it's like a little treasure box. Okay, back to what we were doing. This is Abette also. So you can look through the different kits in her Etsy store. Again, her Etsy store is Tu Casa de Papel. And the colors are so vibrant on her, you know, on her pages. And this is just a random, like a background page, and I just shrunk it. Abette. Some of the stuff is, some of the things that I use that I have here are, you know, just from the public domain. This is, I bet. But if you check your stash and check kits that you've used for, you know, in other seasons, things that you've used in your nature journals, things that you've used, you know, in other places for some inspiration on things to put in your Christmas journal. It doesn't all have to be, you know, poinsettias and holly berries, right? And these, I am very anxious to use these. And I think we might do that today. Maybe we will make a shaker pocket, put some of that big glitter in one of these envelopes today. And this is just some, you know, after cutting some of Abette's pages down a little bit to make pockets and such. This is just some scraps that I have left over that I can use. And these both, I think this is a Roxy Creations. This is out of my Roxy Creations embroidery doily kit, one of her kits. This is a freebie from, this was a freebie from Rach and Bella for their, in her boho kit when she was doing boho last month. This is so beautiful, and I used this image in the Fiesta, the Mexican Fiesta journal. And I think this is a freebie also. This is a freebie from Artie Mays. You may want to go take a, you know, a quick look at what's going on over there. Artie Mays is also doing Christmas, you know, more traditional Christmas in July. She has a 5-page freebie kit, and this beautiful little robin was part of that kit. And I think I'm going to use that as part of my shaker pack and hope that his little face shows up okay in the window. And if not, I will trim it down. We'll make it work. All right, let's get that cut out. And we'll see where we go from here. All right, so let me know in the comments if you're, you know, if you're watching, if you are, you know, journaling, if you're doing Christmas in July, if you're doing, I know that just journaling in July. What is Meg's journal? She's doing something I know that Roxy Creations and, you know, a lot of people are taking part in. I think that's just, it's not, I don't think she's doing Christmas. I think it's just a, you know, a July. I don't know the name of it. I apologize. If you guys know, put it in the comments. But she has prompts for every day of the month, and she's got a lot of really popular artists from our community that are going to be crafting along and showing you ideas for things to use in a July journal. But we're doing Christmas here. We're going to focus on our Feliz Navidad. 31 days, the Feliz Navidad. Okay, and what color do we want to use? Do we want to do red? We could do red. Or green. We're auditioning. No. Yellow. Yellow is one of my favorite colors. I just love yellow. Okay, I think that yellow. I think it's going to be yellow. And let's see if where your little face is going to end up when we put you in this envelope. I may have to trim it down some. The envelope is 5 by 5. It's a little CD case envelope. Maybe you have some of those in your stash that you might want to craft along with me, or you can actually, you know, make your own. Maybe we will practice. I'm not prepared to do that today, but it's very simple. You know, a very simple envelope to make, just with the 2 little side gussets, and it's a matter of cutting out the circle. I have a very large, where is it? A very large circle punch. that cuts out a, what is this, like 2.5 or 3 inch circle. But it's just not very sharp, and it requires, I don't know what it requires. Sometimes it cuts a perfect circle, sometimes not so much. If any of you, this is by Sunlit. This is 3.5 inch, a 3.5 inch circle. So if any of you, I haven't tried punching tinfoil. I think a lot of people say that if you punch tinfoil, it will sharpen the blades a little bit. I have not tried that. Let me just see. Let me just see how this is behaving right now. I think it also depends on the paper that you're using. Oh, well, it liked that paper, but I didn't put it in far enough. Let's see. Okay, so if you have something like this, you could use it to create an envelope, and then, you know, just, you know, put some, you know, some something clear packaging or something to use as the window. Okay, but I'm not doing that today. I already have those colored CD cases, and that's what I'm going to be using today. That was my glue page. I'll have to get a new one. I have more than one. All right, little bird, let's see. Let's see where your face lies. Trim you down just a little bit on each side. Just a sliver so you fit in. And then we may end up having to trim more depending on whether we can see your cute little eyes. Aww. Okay, let's trim it down a little bit on the bottom. If we trim down a little bit on the bottom, I think the face will be, will show a little bit better. Let's see how that goes. And I'd like him to move over a little bit, so let's trim a little bit off of this side. Just a little, just a sliver. So what's everybody doing for the 4th of July? Are you celebrating independence? My birthday is on the 6th of July, so 4th of July has always been one of my favorite holidays. I always felt when I was growing up like everybody got to have a day off for my birthday, and there were fireworks, and there was barbecues, and there was marching bands, and things happened when it was my birthday. Okay, I think she's adorable, and she's going to get some red glitter. I don't think green, I think maybe just the red. Where did we put that? In that can. She's cute. Thank you so much, Artie Mays, for the freebie. I love it so much. I know she's not watching, but she does a lot for the community. I don't know if any of you are real familiar with her, but she does amazing. She has amazing kits, and she lives out there where there's seagulls. I can hear the seagulls when she, on her videos, seagulls outside her window. All big mess with this, but let's pour a little bit in. Oh, that is more than I bargained for, I think. Well, maybe not. Okay, a little shake. Well, yeah, that's a little on the much side. Do I have, close at hand, some little zippy bags? Where are the little zippy bags? Why aren't they right here? Okay, I'll look for them later. Now, I do want to pour a little bit back in. It's just a little, that's just a little much. Okay, it's still a lot, but that's okay. And I'll just, for now, just tape this glitter up so we don't make a mess everywhere. And I'll look for some little Ziploc bags to put it in. All right, we could put some green in there, but I don't think so. I think we're just going to go with the red. And that says Christmas. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Okay, I think that is, well, let's see how much time we have left. 26 minutes. Yeah, that's probably long enough. I've been having a little bit of trouble with my downloads taking extra amount of time to download the videos, so I've been making them relatively short. I have been on the phone with Apple Friday and then again today, trying to resolve some of the issues. And two times I had two different customer service persons that are Apple specialists, technical specialists on the line. And I don't know if, you know, how many of you that have YouTube channels actually use your phone, your iPhone, to record your videos, and how many of you use Android. But let me tell you, Android, my son-in-law's Android, okay, does have a pause button for the video. Our iPhones do not. Now, don't, and, you know, so I told the people, the persons on the, you know, on the phone, I said, don't you think if you were the person designing a video, a video program for iPhone that millions and millions of people were going to be using, don't you think one of the basic things that you would offer is a pause button for the video? Because you guys can tell me how you do it, but when I, you know, a lot of times this is a crafting, you know, this is a crafting channel, so sometimes I have to put the video on pause while the paint dries or the glue dries, or, you know, or something, and then come back later. And sometimes you just have to go get the door or let the dog out. Okay, things come up and you need to pause the video. There's no pause button, so I have to end the video, come back, start a new video, pause again. Sometimes there's as many as 3. One time I had 4, but usually there's either 2 or 3. And now you have to use another program. So now you've got 3 separate videos. You have to use another app to run all those through and have them, you know, the new app stitch them all together into one video. So now you've got 4 videos sitting on your iPhone instead of just one that you needed that would have been so simple to have the pause button. And they told me that they were shocked that they never even thought about that. You know, they're like, oh, I have that exact same phone and I never thought about that. Of course, you know, and I asked them, wouldn't you have designed that if you were the designer? And they're like, I would think so. And I was told to go to applefeedback.com and leave that information. So if any, you know, if any of you also have the same thoughts and ideas about having to, wishing there was a pause button on your iPhone so that you could do your YouTube videos, it's Apple Feedback. I wrote it on this page, you can't see it. applefeedback.com, and you can leave your suggestion there. Not that they'll answer it, but it's such a simple fix. How hard can it be? Again, Brad is my son-in-law, and he, on his phone, his Android, there's a pause button. You just pause the button, you go let the dog out, you come back, and you unpause, and you keep videoing the same video. Anyway, that's enough of ranting for me. I'm going to stop now. And I want to say that I really appreciate all of you being here with me today. And Louise, I know that you're using the same kit as me for the Feliz Navidad, for the, for the Christmas in July, Latin style. And I'm going to look forward to putting this in my journal. Navidad in July. So Christmas in July 2023. All right. So again, thank you all for stopping in. Leave a comment. Let me know you were here. Hit the like button. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and come back. Come back all month for more of our Christmas in July fun and excitement. We're going to cool things off by doing Christmas in the middle of our heat wave. I'll say goodbye for now and see you real soon. Hi, I'm back for a real quick minute. I wanted to show you what I'm, a little bit more that I'm doing on this tag while I have it here on, or this shaker, while I have it here on the desk. I have added some eyelash trim and some leaf garland. And I took some of these little flowers from this child's dress, cut the flowers out, and thought we might go ahead and glue them on to this garland. Let's see, there's three, I'll do 3 red ones, one in the middle and one on each end. So let's get the red ones on there. Red. Aw. Red. Red. And we'll put 2 white ones in between. One here. One here. That's white. I know you're not going to have the same materials in front of you that I have, but, seriously, check your stash. Check your local thrift store. Check your closet. There's things. As Picasso once said, inspiration does exist, but it must find you working. So let's work. Let's pull out our materials, pull out our fun things that are Christmassy or bright colored for our Latin colors, and let's make some fun things to put in our bright festive journal. All right, thank you all for being here. Again, I think I've already said goodbye, so I'm going to just say I'll see you real soon.